What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and I'm excited to join you this week for our Daily Dose. You know, I've always been fascinated by one-hit wonders. These are music artists who burst onto the scene with one successful song, but never seem to be able to find the same success again. Likewise, the pages of Scripture are full of people who have one big moment in the story of God's redemption. It can be easy to overlook these men and women, especially when comparing them to figures with much bigger stories. But this week on Daily Dose, we're going to look at some of these biblical one-hit wonders. I'm going to compare them to examples from the world of music and hopefully point out some lessons that we can learn from each of them. Sometimes there are artists whose work is not fully appreciated at first release, but it comes to be viewed much more strongly over time. There are many musical groups that fit this description, but the first I thought of was a-ha and their song Take On Me. The song was a big synth pop hit of the mid-1980s, but there were many synth pop hits in the mid-1980s. Over time, this song has grown to stand out among the crowd because of its catchy hook, incredible vocal performance, and extremely ahead of its time music video. It truly has become one of the most beloved songs of its genre and its time period. In Genesis 14, we meet a man named Melchizedek. We read in verses 18 and 19, "Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, 'Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand.' Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything." Now it's clear that this is a man of importance. After all, he's described to us as both a king and a priest. But if we only had the Old Testament, Melchizedek would be a blink and you miss him character. However, Melchizedek returns in a sense in the book of Hebrews. Here, the writer describes Jesus as our great high priest, and he links him to this relatively obscure Old Testament character. This has led readers throughout the history of the church to return to that moment in Genesis 14 and to look at it with a new perspective. Like a one-hit wonder ahead of their time, Melchizedek has come to be more appreciated through a New Testament lens. However, his significance only comes from the fact that he points to Jesus, and ultimately that's a great goal for any of us. Let our prayer be, Jesus, help us to get out of the way so that we can point others to you. That's all for today. Join me back here tomorrow for another Daily Dose.